Third-party plugins are now a thing in Obsidian's insider release of 0.9.10. Hey folks, my name is Justin with Effective Remote Work. Today we're going to take a look at the third-party plugin ecosystem that just launched in this new insider build. First, I did want to let you know we're starting something brand new here at Effective Remote Work. We're launching a Discord community. There will be a link in the description below if you're interested in checking that out. If you are, I would love to have you over there. So here in Obsidian, I have the latest insider build 0.9.10. You do have to be a Catalyst subscriber right at this moment to get access to this build, but in a week or two, this will likely be released to the general public. Insiders get access to these inside builds just to do beta testing and so on and so forth. But let's take a look at what is involved in getting a plugin installed in Obsidian. First, let's head on over to Settings. Then there's this third-party plugin tab. You can see that there's this safe mode setting and it's automatically defaulted to on. What this means is that if there are plugin files existing in your Vault folder as it stands, they will not be executed by default. You can load up plugin files manually into your Vault by putting them in a specific directory, but the team has included a very nice and easy way to install them right from the user interface. I'm going to turn this setting off so that we can take a look at the community plugins that are currently available as of November 2nd, 2020, inside of Obsidian. Okay, so I turned it off here. You get this warning. Third-party plugins can access files on your computer, connect to the internet, and even install additional programs. Would you like to disable safe mode to allow these third-party plugins? I am going to turn it off. Generally, you don't necessarily want to execute unknown code on your computer, especially when you have a vault that might be full of private information. So that's something to consider when running third-party plugins. There is not currently a vetting process or security checks for these plugins, and there isn't really an intention to be an in-depth security review on these plugins. You could do it yourself or commission someone else to do it for you if you have serious concerns about this. Because what happens is these plugins run JavaScript code or TypeScript code, and they can make calls to the internet somewhere. They can take data that passes through it, send it off somewhere else. Just something to be aware of if you're using third-party plugins. As of this moment in time, it doesn't seem to be that there is anything majorly malicious there. Another thing to be aware of with running third-party code is if someone's handling an information in an insecure way, not necessarily maliciously, but just in a way that's not the most secure, that could be a vector of attack for you as well. Now, I've been spouting on for quite a while now about the security implications of using third-party code. Generally, this is going to be okay for you to use. Just have that in the back of your mind that if there are things in your vault you don't want leaking out to the internet, be very, very careful and judicious about the plugins that you install in Obsidian. So now let's take a look at the plugins that are available at this moment in time. We'll click Browse. Now, this is the community plugins screen. You can see that there is a number of plugins over here. You can search. You can see the download count here as well. And then if you click on one, such as this calendar plugin, it will show information in the right-hand window. This looks like it's pulling the README file from the GitHub repository. And if you're interested in installing this plugin, all you have to do is click Install. We'll take a look at this one really quick because I think it actually is pretty neat. So what it does is it adds a calendar into a pane that shows your daily notes that are created. And if you click on a date where there's not a daily note, it will create one for you. I think that's really handy. So what I'm going to do to install this is just click the install button. And it's installing in the background. You see I've got this notification that it's successfully installed. One improvement here would be to have this change to say it's installing and a little progress bar, and then that to change to say that it has been installed, so you're not clicking on that over and over again. The notifications are a nice touch though. So if I close that, you can see on the third-party plugin page that I have an installed plugins section now. I can hit refresh to reload them. I can hit the X button to uninstall them, and I can toggle it on to turn it on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just figure out how this works here. You can see that in the right-hand side pane here that I've got this new calendar tab, which adds a calendar, which is really fun. I actually think this is a very helpful feature. This is the brilliant thing about having a plugin ecosystem inside of Obsidian, is that you can now add, and people will be adding tons and tons of functionality to the software. Having Obsidian be an Electron application, which is basically just running JavaScript on your computer, a website on your computer, you can do almost anything with it. And I think that's really powerful. Let's head back to the settings menu and we can take a look at just a few of the other plugins that are there. You can see that we have sliding panes, which is the Andy Matusic mode, which I will show you what that looks like really quick. We'll install that one, but we'll just take a look here what other plugins are there. There's a note refactor plugin, which allows you to extract selected portions of notes into a new note. You can edit tables a little bit easier, which is fancy and fun. You can back up your Obsidian vault to Git, which I think is really handy. I've done videos on this channel about how to do that, but now that you have this built into a plugin, it's going to be really easy to get going. You can paste a URL into a selection, backlinks into the document so that they're not just in the pane. You can show white space at the end of a line, which is nice if you accidentally added a bunch of spaces that you're not sure is there. It shows reading time, text expansion, hotkeys, jump to link. There's a Todoist Sync plugin where you can actually pull in your today tasks from Todoist into Obsidian. That's kind of cool. I might check that one out since I'm using Todoist myself. Natural language date parsing, sample plugin, VimRC support. If you're using the Vim mode, you can rebind key mappings in there and add links to the current note. There are a lot of options right now, and there are a lot more, I'm sure, that will be coming in the near future. Let's take a look at the sliding panes mode here. We'll turn that one on. So now you can see the title bar is on the side instead of on the top. And what this enables is that if I open up a new pane, say on my productivity note here, these notes start to stack up. So as I slide over, you can see that they just stack up on top of each other. It gives you a little bit of context, kind of stacking note cards almost in a sense, using this mode. This was previously available as a CSS hack, but now that it's available as a plugin inside of the software, I might try using this as well. I think it's pretty neat. The one downside with it, though, is it seems like you need to have horizontal scrolling capability, which my MX Master Vertical does not have. So I am going to end up needing to use the trackpad on my laptop to use that. But that's just something to be aware of with that particular plugin. Anyway, that's a brief overview of plugins in Obsidian. I'm really excited to see what the community and potentially even myself can contribute to extending the functionality of the software. But I'm wondering what you think. What would you like to see implemented in a plugin inside of Obsidian? Leave a comment below, and especially if you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Again, my name is Justin with Effective Remote Work. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video.